Okay. This here is something wild. I'm gonna try to dissect it, but Jordan Peterson is a very hard man to understand exactly what he is saying. He is very intellectually smart, and he speaks as if. Um, this here is crazy. It's called Watch Carefully. Jordan Peterson is trying to tell us something about Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is one of those people, super mysterious, super interesting. Uh, so let's just dive into it. We're gonna go right out the gate. It's gonna get strange.
He's probably an alien.
Yeah,
Did you hear that? Do you think that's serious? This guy's taking it as sarcasm. Oh, probably. I want you to listen to how he says that again.
He's probably an alien.
yeah,
Does that man look like he's being sarcastic? No, he's not being sarcastic one bit.
Probably.
There's only two.
Probably a reptilian, isn't it?
You hear that? Probably a reptilian, isn't he? I think he's trying to gauge him too. The other man's intelligence, right there.
What do you make of Elon Musk? You've spoken about him a bit. You met
I'm
him.
struck with admiration. That's what I make of him.
You're struck with admiration. Yeah, I think I am too. Any man that can build a rocket that's better than the NASA rocket, I think deserves some credit. Also, there is the car. You know, his car is it's the only electric car to buy. The other ones are no competitor.
I always think of that as a primary. Well, it's like, do you find this comedian funny? It's like, well, I laugh at him. You know what I mean? It's not propositional again. And so,
do I find this comedian funny? And then he says, it's not propositional again. And so, something about how he'd like to ask him some questions. Let's find out what propositional means. This is the thing that you have to do if you listen to Peterson at all. Because if you're just sitting there listening to him and you can just understand what that man says, then you need to have your own show. I'm serious. What is that? Pro-partial. Polydent for your dentures. Oh. Why did it find definition of medium? Here we go. Merriam-Webster. Here we go. So let's find out what he's saying. A. Something offered for consideration or acceptance. A request for sexual intercourse. The point to be discussed or maintained in argument, usually stated in sentence form near the outset. Okay, this is what he says again. And C, a theorem or problem to be demonstrated or performed. I'm going to go probably with C. That's what he's saying. But, I mean, A2 is a little wild. I don't think he's doing that. Okay, let's go.
There are things I would like to again. And so, this comedian funny. It's like, well, I laugh at him. You know what I mean? It's not propositional again. And
oh, I got it that time. Okay. He is literally being propositional when he says, "Is this comedian funny?" Okay, and then I laugh at him, and then look how he uses it's not propositional again. I think he's mocking his intelligence.
so there are things I would like to ask Mr. Musk about. The Mars venture, I don't know what he's up to there. It strikes me as absurd.
He is mocking his intelligence. Did you hear that? He just told him the Mars venture is absurd.
In the most fundamental sense, because I think, well, it'd be easier just to build an outpost in the Antarctica or in the desert.
Well, how much of the human endeavor is absurd?
Well, that's what did Nietzsche say? Great men are seldom credited with their stupidity.
I mean, it takes imagination to be great. Takes a lot, I'd say, to be great. But I guess you could say it's stupidity. But at the same time, when a great person accomplishes such a amazing feat, is it stupidity then after they've accomplished it? I'll leave that one up to you. Oh shoot, I hit this button. I shouldn't hit it.
Who the hell knows what Musk is up to? I mean, obviously he's building rockets. Now, he's motivated because he wants to build a platform for life on Mars. Is that a good idea?
Look at his face. Oh, I said it. I mean, he's being provocative. I think intention here is to maybe get Elon Musk to respond, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Who am I to say? He's building the rockets, man, but I'd like to ask him about it. Yeah, well, it isn't obvious to me that I'm in any position to
He was serious about asking him about it.
Evaluate Elon Musk. Like, I would like to talk to him and find out what he's up to and why, but
he's being serious now. He's apologizing. He doesn't come out outright and apologize. For a lot of people, they don't do that. Now he's being serious as an approach toward him. That, hey man, you really want to talk? Let's talk.
I mean, he's an impossible person. What he's done is impossible. All of it. It's like he built an electric car that works. Now, does it work completely and will it replace gas cars or should it? I don't know. But if we're going to build electric cars, he seems to be the best at that by a lot. And he more or less did that. People carp about him, but he more or less did that by himself. I know he's very good at...
People carp? What does that mean? Let's see. I think he's making a jest at how Elon Musk kind of like wanted to use the world as his own fishbowl and put those brain implants into people. I think that's a bad idea. The U.S. regulators rejected Musk's text to chest brain chips. If you know anything, you could say that maybe the mark of the beast is that, but after watching that RV Odd Couple, I pointed to it like that as go look at it in the previous video, the one that says reaction to some truth. you haven't watched that yet, you should watch that. Um, so yeah.
Distributing responsibility and all of that, but he's the spearhead. And then that was pretty hard. And then he built a rocket at like 1/10 the.
You hear I said that's pretty hard. I'll give him. He's basically saying, I'll give him the credit for that one.
Price of NASA rockets. And then he shot his car out into space. That's pretty hard. And then he's building this boring company, more or less as a, what would you call it?
This here, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, his boring company. Maybe in the comments below, if you know what they're talking about, let us know.
Sort of, it's this whimsical joke in some sense, but it's not a joke. He's amazing.
And Neuralink, delving into the depths of the mind.
And Starlink, it's like, go Elon, as far as I'm concerned. And then, he puts his finger on things so oddly.
Now see, he's been a cheerleader there. This man is so hard to read, and a lot of you out there think that he believes in Jesus. Now, I'm not so sure that Jordan Peterson believes in Jesus, because he won't say Jesus. Never noticed that about him? He won't say Jesus. Who else don't say Jesus? Demons and devils.
The problem is underpopulation. It's like, I think so too. I think it's a terrible problem that the West, for example, is no longer at replacement with regard to birth rate. It means we've abandoned.
Look, are we really overpopulated as far as land goes? Land is concerned? Not really. Because humans, we've learned to build up. But when you think about it, there are third world countries where people don't live in good conditions. But it is a sad fact that the birth rate has declined so far in the West that, everybody's outpacing us. And maybe we'll have another one of those birth spurts. I think that's what we're going to have. Right after World War II, if we would just stop putting our nose in other people's business and bring people back home, the birth rate will explode. Trump, wanted to draw them troops back. Biden did a withdrawal. It was an awful withdrawal. But anyway, if we would just take our nose out of all these wars, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should definitely go and look this up. We're in so many wars, it's ridiculous. We're in wars that the news does not even report on. We're in wars everywhere. You could go ask servicemen when you talk to them. I asked a guy, about 2 or 3 months ago. I said, oh, did you serve? And he said, yeah, I served. And I said, where did you serve at? Somalia, Niger. He said. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was there. We have wars that we're fighting there. And then I go look it up. The U.S. is in so many wars, it's ridiculous.
The Virgin and the Child, in the most fundamental sense, it's a bloody catastrophe.
Do you see how he said that? The Virgin and the Child. Why didn't he say Mary and Jesus? What is with him? Now, I listened to him one time. He said he didn't want to be in that, basically in the club with the same people that were saying, come out and say you're Christian and that you believe in Jesus, He didn't want to be associated with the people that were saying that. Now, why would he want, if he's a Christian, not want to be associated with other Christians? That's strange.
And Musk, he sees it clear as can be. Well, and where everyone else is running around going, oh, there's too many people. It's like, nope. Got that. Not only, see, I've learned that there are falsehoods and lies, and there are anti-truths.
I would agree with the man here. There are falsehoods and lies. Things are taken out of context very badly in this world. Like, for instance, it slipped my mind. But, like I was just talking about, with when you're talking about birth rate, if you're talking about the land, then no. But if you're talking about, say, uh, if the people were spaced out on the land more broadly and generously, um, and that goes into owning things and stuff like that too. And you can't force a person to work. You can't do stuff like that unless there's slavery. Uh, then you have a forced workforce. So better not say you can't do that. It just things are taken out of context very badly. I know that's a bad analogy, um, and I don't want to get into like, well, okay. Here's what I was going to say to begin with. It hit me. Peterson talks about, um, you know, like the men women equality thing in the job world. If you listen to that stuff, you're like, hey, he's right. The man is supposed to be stronger. The man is supposed to be a man. Uh, and a woman's supposed to be a woman, and the two are very different genders. One is a lot stronger, than the other one, and you know, you get what I'm going at. Let's just finish this.
And an anti-truth is something that's so preposterous that you couldn't make a claim that's more opposite to the truth. And the claim that there are too many people on the planet is an anti-truth.
I think he's correct in what he's saying there. I mean, there's a lot of land still left. The earth is so massive. I mean, compared to us, the size of us and the size of the earth, and they're saying overpopulation, I disagree.
So, people say, well, you have to accept limits to growth and et cetera. It's like, I have to accept the limits that you're going to impose on me because you're frightened of the future.
Exactly. These people want to create, what he's talking about, the people that want to create the Georgia Guidestone future. And really, it's the people who are at the very top of the totem pole when it comes to money, and they've got some whack ideas, dude. The WEF, World Economic Forum, the Bilderberg Group, people like that. They've got some strange ideas on where they want humanity to go towards. And really, they're setting up there like on some pedestal that in reality we've kind of put them there, guys, with this like Forbes magazine stuff and top 100 millionaires and top billionaires and oh, look at how they live, and oh man, that you just put them up there to where and build them up to where they think they're just all that and they're don't stink, once I would say it would be very hard to stay grounded and be in that position, and like I just started to put this into practice. There's a Bible verse, and I recommend this to all Christians, especially if you're going through a trial, is when you get up first thing in the morning, the Bible talks about how to set your mind on the things of heaven instead of the things of earth, because the treasures down here are passing. They're just, you're only here for a little while. Moth and rust doth corrupt, and thieves do break in, but not in my Father's house. What he's saying is, the treasures in heaven are forever.
That's your theory, is it?
I saw you took a trip to the Tesla factory. What were your thoughts after meeting Elon Musk? Did you get to speak to him much?
I wouldn't say much. We spoke probably for 20 minutes in total, not purely privately because there's other people around, but
Yeah.
you know, that just barely gets you to know the surface of someone like Musk, because he's an amazing person, and God only knows what's up with him, all things considered. We saw his new truck. He was taking people out for a ride. I didn't go out for a ride. The truck's an amazing piece of engineering. The factory is massive. You know, what do you say about someone who built a functional electric car and then shot it into space on a rocket? He's a singular person. But I thought it went very well. It was a very interesting evening. So I was pleased to be there. And, you know, we sort of walked around each other a bit. And, you know, people think, I'll say what I have to say when I get to the point where I'm protected and secure. It's like, first of all, being protected and secure does not give you the courage to say what you have to say. That's a completely, that theory couldn't be more backwards. You think you're going to...
Yeah, I agree here too. The more and more that you put into something, the more valuable it becomes to you, so that you cherish what you have. And if you cherish, it's human nature, then you're scared of losing it.
You get braver and braver as you get more and more protected. You think that's how the world works? I mean, I've watched university professors think that at some point they're going to say what they think as they develop their career, but by the time they're protected and secure, they've spent so much time not saying what they think that they aren't even who they were, and they don't know what they think. So no, he says what he says because he's always done that, and people who are like him are like that. And so Steve Jobs, I presume, was exactly the same way. I mean, I know people who knew him. He always said what he thought. And he was pretty damn cut and dried about it, which is why the Apple products are such miracles of technological mastery. He had an unbelievably canny design eye and he cut whole projects without a second thought in some sense when they weren't working. The enterprise he's put together is unbelievably high functioning. I mean, to produce an automobile sub-industry that's actually competitive, and to bring down the cost of space exploration by a factor of 10, and to invent reusable rockets, and to have developed this boring technology. It's miraculous. He's probably an alien.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There's only two.
Probably a reptilian, isn't it?
I wish I could see his face when he said probably a reptilian. But yeah. If you're going to listen to Peterson, you better dissect it. Just my advice to you. Have a good day.